You have offended,
this podcast,
and you have offended
the entire movie-making community.
Let's go. And what if he doesn't take you? He will. Let's go. No. Now? Fuck now. We're going drinking now.
And welcome once again to You Have Offended, this podcast, where we look at martial arts movies old and new. My name is Mike McCarran. I'm one of your hosts, and with me, as always, is the baddest mofo low down around this town, Chad Lindsay. What's up, buddy?
Show enough. Hey, thanks. Thank you. I had to say show enough after that intro.
You got to do it every time.
How you doing, man?
Time. I'm good, brother. I'm good. I'm excited about this one. I was kind of hesitant initially because I was like, I don't know if this one's going to hold up. And I think we were talking a little earlier in the week, and I was saying how Kickboxer and Bloodsport in my brain kind of blended together into kind of one movie, and it's hard to separate them.
Yeah, there's a couple of the things. I think it's maybe one of those stories where they don't want to mess with the success, and they're just like kind of give the same type of trajectory on it. But yeah, I saw them right around the same time. And then I saw them like a million times afterwards, just because you just rent these all the time. Just life was different then. You just go to the video store and rent something, and if you didn't see anything you like, you just kind of you just do a go-to. You'd be like, oh, I know this is good, so I'll just watch this one again, and you'd snatch it up.
100%. It's the same thing you do with on Netflix now. Like if I don't see anything I like, I'm going to one that I know I'm going to like that I've watched 1,000 times.
Yeah, and with Netflix, I guess there's less risk because you can just fire something up and you're like, well, I'm 10 minutes into this, I don't like it. You have the ability to just change it. Where in those days, like we were playing with real money here, we were playing with real money involved, and you're like, man, I'm not rolling the dice on, Death of the Shaolin 7. I don't know, man. I could go with Kickboxers, tried and true.
Right? And I mean, if you did rent it, you had that thing for 2 days, so I'm watching it multiple times anyway.
Oh yeah, like I remember having calls like it's like, hey man, I got to take Kickboxer back at 6, or I got to take something back at 6. You want to come over and watch it one more time before you got to take it back?
Like hell yeah!
Get another. I don't want any more. I can't get any more late charges. I just paid my count off. Like everybody, like you and me and Legier and the boys, like we would go to video stores and be like, okay, who here doesn't have late charges?
Right?
That was the way.
Who has the least amount of late charges? Yeah. Well, I have $20. Well, I have $62. I have 13. Okay, we can pitch in and pay 13, right?
Yeah, we'll pay 13, then we're gonna rent something else. All right. Or I don't even have a membership here. Okay, you're applying for a membership.
And then you get a free rental with the membership, so we're good, right?
Yeah. The person behind the counter knows, like, you guys owe us like $200 a month too. Like,
yeah, but Randall doesn't, so
yeah, Randall doesn't. Yeah, you guys just brought a random kid in to get a membership.
Yeah, so what was that kid's name? What was that kid's name? Chicken?
Space Chicken.
Space Chicken.
Space Chicken.
Yeah, but Space Chicken doesn't have. Did you just call that kid Space Chicken? Yeah.
Yeah, that was the best. Like the 80s were rife with nicknames. Like, and to this day, okay, I'm gonna tell you something right now. Like 1 week ago, I sent a message to a guy on Facebook, and his response was, please stop calling me Dirty Filthy Barry.
I remember him. Yeah. Well, the point of the whole nickname thing was to pick the one the person doesn't like the most.
Yeah, it's been 35 years. Stop calling me Dirty Filthy Barry.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's just like, oh yeah, was that me and Dirty Filthy? We're out. The people are like, who? Oh, Dirty Filthy. Oh, it's this guy we know, Dirty Filthy Barry. But yeah, we had space. Like everybody had a nickname. They're like Space Chicken, Dirty Filthy Barry, Dog Burner. Yeah, like.
And I don't believe anybody actually knew Space Chicken's actual name.
Well, yeah, that kind of got us in a pinch once because we were having a sleepover, and in those days you had phone numbers in your mind,
in your head,
memorized, right? Like you didn't have a phone book. Like you had like 60 phone numbers memorized, like constantly. And it was just like, all right, let's do this. And we're like, do and calling everybody for this sleepover we were gonna have at my house. And I was like, let's call up Space Chicken, see if he's got a tent. And then, I dialed the number, and his mother answered the phone. She's like, hello. And I was like, is Guys, what's Space Chicken's real name? And they're like, I don't know.
I don't know. This is Space Chicken.
Oh, hey, we're looking for Space Chicken. He's probably your son. And like, you're just doing shit like that. Yeah, there's like just grabbing kids randomly.
Oh, shit, that's
Space
too funny.
Chicken. Well, yeah, I owe you money, but Space Chicken doesn't. Fill out that form, young man.
Oh,
Oh,
and we would get Kickboxer. So this was actually the second JCVD movie because Bloodsport. Well, okay, let me
yeah,
just
you're
jump
gonna
back
go
because
back to No Retreat, No Surrender.
no, actually, I was gonna go back to 1984 where he was an extra in Breakin'.
Didn't break it. Yeah, he was in the background.
He was in the background of Breakin' with Michel Kissy, the dude that plays Tong Po.
Yeah,
They were both walkabys in 84's Breakin'. Before they got their deal. So
that's
that
so
that
random.
counted Bloodsport in 88, Kickboxer in 89, and which led into Lionheart in 1990. Okay, Kickboxer. Kickboxer had a budget of $2.7 million. In the US, it made $14.7 million, and worldwide it made fucking $50 million, which is why he has a career, because that's ridiculous. Did you know, little bit of internet trivia here, the part of Kurt, JCVD's part, was supposed to be Chuck Norris.
Really?
Yeah, that was supposed to be a Chuck Norris movie. Can you imagine Chuck Norris as Kurt in this?
Oh my god, I'm just playing the movie in my mind. Like I'm
It would
just
be
like,
very different.
oh, it would be completely different because, oh my god, because he's Chuck Norris, so I just picture him in the locker room. Uh,
Yeah,
uh, he was kicking one of these posts with his
yeah.
fucking legs. Like Chuck Norris, I don't think he could play. I don't think he could play that like weak part at the beginning of the film. I don't think I'd buy it just because he's Chuck
No.
Norris. I
Well,
don't
can you
think he.
imagine I mean, they had to write some of that for Van Damme because when he's like, "Yes, I was raised in Europe and my parents made me take ballet
Yeah,
before I had to take karate."
yeah, that's
Chuck
true.
Norris is
That's
not
true.
saying that. That's written for JCVD,
Yeah,
right?
100%, 100%.
So, JCVD as Kurt, Dennis Alexio,
Yeah.
actual real kickboxer as Eric.
Yeah, you remember when he broke his friggin' shin?
Dude, he was fighting and they called it a TKO, but then they went back and looked at it, and there was. Do you remember it was a fucking hole in the ring
Yeah,
where his
crazy.
foot got stuck, and he threw a roundhouse kick, and it snapped his leg.
Oh god,
Remember he
yeah.
was wearing that crazy grass skirt?
Yeah.
That was
Yeah,
a bad one to
I
watch,
remember
man. I
seeing
remember him
that, man.
falling over.
No, like even now, I don't know what the medical term is, but when something happens weird like that, like you get like that tingling pain in your nuts, like
Oh
like
yeah,
I'm just like thinking about his leg twisting like that, and I'm like, oh, like
like
it's
oh
not even my leg.
man,
It's not even my leg, but my nuts hurt
no,
when I think about something I watched, 30 years ago or 25 years
yeah,
ago or
you
whenever it
get that
happened.
pucker
That was
factor, man. Ugh.
brutal. That was
Oh, that was
brutal.
really hard.
But Dennis Alexio did an excellent job in this movie,
He did.
as his brother Eric,
Eric
and
brother Sloane.
yeah, like I like how he steps out in the ring and his trunks don't even have his last name on it. It's just like Eric. Like his trunks don't say Sloane. They
I
say
didn't even
Eric.
notice that they
Yeah,
say Eric. I
yeah.
didn't even notice that. That's
It's just
hilarious.
like Mike Tyson coming to the ring and his trunks say Michael.
Mike.
Yeah, but anyway, but Eddie, we're
His trunks would say Michael.
getting off track. But yeah, Dennis Alexio, fantastic. For because usually athletes don't translate well. Like I like Don Wilson. I like Don the Dragon Wilson. His acting ability had left a lot to be desired. I think he's
It did.
but I enjoyed. I watched all of his films, but I thought Dennis
Yeah, of course.
Alexio actually did a really good job playing the cocky American.
Yeah, man.
Great fighter. His stuff on screen looked good because sometimes real martial artists it doesn't translate well onto the screen, which is
Yeah.
probably why Van Damme. And I don't say these things to be insulting, but Van Damme is not like an MMA fighter, martial artist fighter. He's a movie fighter, and he's a great movie fighter. And
Yeah.
with love, he's a shitty actor in some of his earlier
Yep.
stuff. Because
Yep.
I love because he comes out with that fucking Lee press on hair. He looks like
Oh,
a Lego boy. He looks like Emmett from the Lego movie because his hair
he
is just this
totally does.
molded thing, and he's got that goofy shit-eating grin like at all the time. Like, and he always just smiles and shakes his head like his brother's always doing shit like pinching nurses' asses and like
Yeah.
bad behavior. And Van
He's got that
Damme,
little head tilty
yeah,
smile like,
he just
"Oh,
well,
you.
like,
Oh, you."
oh, you, the French, we don't condone this, but you're a rascal. He just has that,
"Oh,
he just has
you."
that friggin' look. But anyway,
They need to do this movie and just redub all of Van Damme's lines with Chris Pratt's voice
as Emmett
as
from the
Emmett
Lego movie.
from the
Yeah,
Lego movie. That'd be awesome. Okay, yeah. So getting into the movie, the whole thing opens with the Dennis Alexio fight. He's fighting an actor named Zenny Reynolds in his first thing. Who Zenny Reynolds? He just stands there and takes an ass whooping from
yeah,
Dennis Alexio. There's a part in this first fight where Alexio, quite literally, if you go back to those old The Champ comedy routines, he takes a flurry to the solar
yeah,
plexus. He's just standing there and pop, 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 pop.
yeah.
He just stands there taking
It
it.
looked good. The editing was a little rough and choppy, but
Little choppy, yeah.
it was decent at kind of setting the stage.
Yep. And then so he obviously wins the fight, keeps the title, and he says as they're exiting that well, they're talking to the reporters there that Kurt is going to be a vet or a lawyer, or
Yeah,
I'm gonna
and
kick his ass all over the place.
yeah, and he's like 30. Like
I know, right?
that's the thing that he says he's going to be a vet, and I was like, well, maybe it's time to start making some choices, Kurt Sloane. Like you're a 30-year-old water boy to your brother. Like, hey, he says he's gonna vet. I say he's gonna be a lawyer. It's like I'm pretty sure this guy's a lifer as a water boy. Like,
Right? Well, if there are any cows around, I could help by doing an exam on its bum.
yeah, Jesus.
So anyway, they start talking about you gonna fight all over the world, and Eric says I'm gonna fight everybody. And then he does the very ugly American thing of like, Bangkok, Taiwan, Japan, what's the difference?
Yeah,
Hey, it's all Asia. And then vip off to Thailand they go. No wasted time, which I quite appreciate in the movie. Very nice exterior shots of Thailand here. One thing I wanted to point out was the music in this film, which is fucking fantastic.
the soundtrack.
Oh
Like I
my
basically
God.
only want to talk about the soundtrack because
I know.
this soundtrack is amazing. It's what
So
takes it over
80s.
the top, man.
Oh,
Stan Bush has got 3 fucking songs on this soundtrack. Anyway,
it's so good.
continue.
Oh my God. All of it. Like, everybody loves a winner. Like,
Yeah.
and they're just walking around Thailand and at the river market and stuff, and cruising the streets of Siam.
Oh,
So fucking great.
it's beat for beat. And later in the film, when
Oh
Kurt
yeah.
Kurt is upset, he's walking through the streets and Stan Bush, he might as well have written the lyrics like, and now Tom Poe has crippled your brother. It was a spinal severance. Like, it's very specific.
It's really like, oh
Now
my
I'm
God,
walking
Kurt
through
is
a
really
graveyard.
sad.
Yeah, walking through a graveyard in Thailand as I contemplate my choices. Perhaps I should have been a vet. Like it's so fucking awesome.
It's looking at the pleats in my pants.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's so awesome.
So yeah, they
They go
get
to
to
sex-
they get to
Sorry, go ahead.
Thailand. No, I was gonna say they get to Thailand. I'm trying to keep this on track because it's so funny.
I know. This could be a 5-hour podcast if we keep going. So they go to the sex clubs. They're in the tuk-tuks. Eric chats up this lady, and you get the first of many of the you looks from JCVD, which is
In his
fucking
denim
incredible.
fucking vest with no shirt.
Well, hey man, it's hot in Thailand.
I
You're not
swear to
gonna-
God, if I had the body to do that, I would only wear a denim vest and no shirt everywhere, and I would still get service.
all the time.
No
You
shirt.
have a shirt on, no
Yeah.
shirt, but a denim vest. Denim vest. That'll get you service. So then they go to the hotel, and Eric totally ditches Kurt, and he gives you the great line when he picks up the chick. She doesn't want my wallet. She wants to make it with the champ.
Yeah. Just to make it with the champ.
Hey, and thank you for listening to this teaser episode of the podcast. Full episodes can be found at patreon.com/youhaveoffendedthispodcast. We do at least 4 episodes a month. Everyone gets 1 free. The other 3 are like this one, a teaser with the full show available with a subscription. Now there's 5 levels of subscription to choose from to suit any budget, with the lowest being just $5 per month. That's less than a rabbit harness leash thing on Amazon. I mean, what are you going to do with that? It's nice. I mean, don't get me wrong, but think about it. You can walk your rabbit safely, or you can get over 6 hours of original entertainment to make your workout or commute or life better. Plus, access to all the past seasons, each season being 21 episodes. Patrons also get to be a part of the Dojo crew. You become a producer of the show. And the best part is you don't have to do any of the hours of work it takes to create an awesome show every week. You just reap the benefits. It's awesome. So head on over to patreon.com/youhaveoffendedthispodcast and become a patron. You'll have our eternal gratitude and the satisfaction of literally being a producer of the media you find most appealing. Thank you so much. We'll see you inside the dojo.